Hello, welcome to the Lone Show. I'm your host, John May Lone, and this is the season 20 finale. Way! Man, what a journey. 20 whole seasons in just over 2 years of the Lone Show. And also the Opinionistics, but that's besides the point. Anyway, this is a monumental achievement. So, of course, I don't have anyone on yet. However, I'm going to send the link right now to, man, what a journey this has been. And all the guests, too. It's just amazing. There's so much you can learn from these guests. It's just incredible. So, to get a rundown on what's going to happen, I'm going to bring on, Eric, the usual regular. I'm going to bring on an old regular who's yet to be seen for a long time. The Gooseman, Asperegoose. He's doing pretty well with his YouTube channel. And of course, I'll bring on another person that has also haven't been on for a while. Shadowminer. So yes, this is going to be cool. This is going to be quite an episode, because this episode we're going to be discussing in regards to Bite. Well, yes. However, I would like to call it the project that's reviving the defunct app that people most vaguely remember. Alright, so now that I've finished sending the links to the people I want to bring on, let's just a little rundown of what it was like for my journey. So, I remember it was around Christmas of 2021. Yeah, sounds about right. The Christmas of 2021. And part of this, I was still part of this group called Team Sketch, and Risk came up to me saying, "Hey, do you want to run a podcast of your own?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, I'll give it a shot." And then, of course, I didn't know much about running a podcast, so I had to do a little research about what questions to ask, what websites to use to get the guests, and yeah. Once I figured all that out in a few weeks, I recorded the first episode with Eric Taylor, and that was published on January 5th of 2022. Coincidentally, that's also my birthday. So that's kind of cool, go figure. So yeah, but my years as a podcast host has been amazing. All the guests and all the knowledge. Man, there's so much you can learn from these guests. Even though they may not have all the money, they may not have much they could be grateful for, they're just living their lives and they know something. That's for sure. Also, I'm just wondering, and this is just me, there have been ups and downs in terms of getting guests. Like, I don't know, how is it when someone, let's just say on the 12th, no, the 11th, on the 11th of that month, someone schedules to appear. Oh, hello, Eric.
Oh wait, did we start already?
Yes, we have started. I was given a rundown on how I started my podcast and what it was like, the journey, like all the guests I brought on from many walks of life. It's been quite valuable for the last over 2 years. So yeah, it's been amazing.
Okay, got you. Then continue.
Yeah, so now I was getting to the part about this one downside in terms of people like booking a date. So say it was the 11th of that month. They were appearing for tomorrow evening, my time. Now, tomorrow evening, my time has come around for the 12th of that same month. Yet somehow, for whatever reason, they're somehow unable to join. Now, I'm not saying they just forgot about it or just willingly ignore. They're just not sure how to join. They're just unable to join. So that's just me from my experience as a podcast. I just don't get, like, why would someone schedule to appear the following day just for that day to come, and I've been waiting like a couple minutes, even 10, 20 minutes after the time slot started, nothing. That's just me. So and of course this is a normal occurrence, not as frequent as you want it to be. However, it happens, and it's okay. Not everyone is perfect. We all make our mistakes. But what's important is how we deal with these mistakes and how we progress as the years go by. And I think at this point now, when it happens again, I think I found ways to coping with that, personally. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about my journey as a podcaster. Of course, in this finale, I've said that we're going to bring on a former regular that has last appeared quite a while ago, the Goose Man, and of course, Shadowminer in regards to the project we're doing and what we're working on. So that'll be pretty cool.
Oh yeah. When is the Goose coming on?
I'm not sure. I just send them the link, and I also tell them like an hour before I started recording, which was like 6 minutes ago, that I'm using a different platform from the last time he appeared on the podcast. Like this was back when we had to use Spotify for podcasters to record the episodes, but now this merger with Riverside happened, and now we're recording on Riverside.fm.
Oh, okay. I'll be. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I think if I had a podcast, I could still use Spotify for podcasters. I believe.
Yes, you can. It's just you have to make sure in time you transfer all the recording files over to Riverside.fm.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. Because I think in certain places, I'll be honest. I think just to cut the middleman, I would just use Riverside. Just like
Yeah,
just to just cut the middleman. I'm just gonna use Riverside and just say, hey, download this app or follow the link. Like yeah, pretty much just download the app so like I can interview you if I were to make another podcast again. I said I was, but I'll be honest, I'm not sure that I'm going to. Besides, I know what I would do, but it's like, would I be consistent? That's really the question. It's like, and I just don't want to start something and I know that I'm not going to be consistent on it.
yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, because it's like I was kind of, I don't know. It's like even with the podcast I was doing, I got bored so easily. I'm like, I get man. It's like that's the problem. I get bored easily, and it's
Yeah,
like,
fair enough.
yeah, and it's like okay, It's like half the stuff I didn't even feel like talking about anymore. I was just doing it to do it, and it's like, all right, cool, and it's like, you know, it is what it is at the end of the day. But hey,
Yeah.
like so what are we so we're gonna talk about like what's going on with us and just interview Goose about what he's been doing.
Well, maybe we could get into the part about Goose in a bit. However, the main subject is us discussing about the project to revive a defunct app that most people vaguely remember.
All right, yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. Okay, that is the pretty much the goal, and we're just waiting for Jacob to get in here, and anybody else who wants to join. Yeah, because I think Jacob said like he was gonna join like at around like 2:30 p.m. Eastern time.
Yeah, which is about that was already passed, I believe, in my opinion.
Yeah, pretty much it's already passed. And for the most part, I'm just gonna say like I'm very excited about this project, and we can give I guess we can give like a brief of what we're gonna do here.
Yeah.
So
So, for those that may not know, and just other than just us saying the project is going to be great, why are we doing this, Eric?
well, see, the reason why we're doing it is because, well, I mean, we wanted to give people an opportunity to, well, have an alternative platform to go to besides Instagram and TikTok to like make their content, especially for people who don't want to use those platforms for like obvious reasons. Either they don't like the platforms or they don't have the platforms and are not willing to download the platforms. Even Twitter to an extent, like Twitter, yeah, it's a great platform, but like some people might not want to post their stuff on there. So pretty much we're going to give people an alternative platform because like there were a lot of support for like the Byte platform. Like people loved Byte because essentially it was pretty much Vine. It was pretty much like like the second coming of Vine. But due to obvious like business transactions and business like decisions, Byte did not last, and essentially it was called Clash for a bit, but like then they rebranded to Bytes and then called Huddles, etc. So like yeah, pretty much essentially what we're trying to do here is just like give the people what they.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Cause hello, Gooseman. How you doing?
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, how you doing, man? It's been a while.
Yeah. I've just been It's great, working, living life.
All right, that's
Nice.
great. That's great to hear, man. So, yeah, what's up? What's been happening? What's been happening with you?
I've been working as a video editor. I've been also, I'm still, I'm going to my final year of uni. I'm finishing up some stuff, some compulsory courses. But yeah, just living life.
Hey, man, that's all we can do, man. We're just living life here, for the most part. And yeah, I'm glad you're almost done, and I'm glad you're a video editor, and I'm glad you're doing great, man. It's
That's
great.
What
Yeah.
about you, man? How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Man. I've been just going. I've been the best that I've ever been this year, man. It's I found peace, and I've been doing nothing but studying the Bible and just working, and just trying to find a stable job for the most part. I've been doing pretty good. Yeah, I've been going to church again, and I've been just reading the Bible, and I've just been finding myself, and I know who I am now, and I just feel great every single day. Every time when I wake up, man, I'm just grateful to live another life and breathe air.
I'm happy. That's great.
Yeah.
You found something that you enjoy, and I'm happy.
Hey, man, thanks. I appreciate that. And yeah, man, I say as long as you enjoy what you're doing, man, and it's great to hear.
Thank you.
Yeah, oh yeah. I was also considering going back to school, but I'm just trying to figure out. I kind of know what I want to do. I kind of know what the type of college specifically that I would like to go to. I'm just trying to figure out when would I want to start. So and for the time being, I'm just working, helping my mom out with stuff around the house, and paying certain bills, and yeah, I'm just doing what I can do to help, because technically I am the man of the house, so hey, it's what I can do.
Well, why are people outside of, what's happening outside? Why is there lots of screaming?
I have no idea, man. I really gotta close that window.
It's like are the Haitians resorting to cannibalizing people? They're no longer eating the cats and dogs. They're eating the dogs. They're not just eating the dogs now. They're eating the people as well, man.
Yeah, I heard of that. I'm like, dang, I didn't even know that, bro.
Apparently it's fake. Apparently he was just fucking. He was, he had a bit of a thing going on that time.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I've really seen any Haitians in my neighborhood. I've seen Africans, Mexican people, but I haven't really seen any.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've just seen just mainly Mexicans though. But those are just the common immigrant. Oh yeah, I've seen some Muslims too. Those are just the common immigrants I've seen in my neighborhood. But that's about it.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing too crazy. They just sit around actually and do nothing. But it is what it is. Hey.
Yeah, so true.
Hey, but what did you guys think of that debate? Because people are saying Trump didn't do that good, and I'm like, yeah, I can see some. Yeah, he didn't really do as good.
Yeah.
But he did decent. And Kamala, she held her all. She did better than I thought she'd do. I'll give her that.
Well,
Yeah.
she did the best she could do.
I'll say that.
I think it was all right.
Yeah, I'm personally not going to vote for any of them, but hey, whoever wins.
What other choice do we have?
Yeah, that's true. I'm saying whoever wins, man. I mean, I think my mom and my sister and my sister's friend are voting for Kamala though. I told them I'm not voting for anybody, bro. I don't really care for neither of them like that.
Well, I'm not American, so
Yeah. Yeah. So, Jame, you have anything to ask him?
Not all I can think of right now, other than, until Shadowminer comes along and we can discuss this project that we're working on. It's gonna, although at first people would have their doubts and concerns, I feel like we're on the right track, and it can look great, to be honest.
What's the project even?
Alright, so, Asperegoose, you remember Byte?
Yeah.
So, and how much of how much was your presence on Byte, especially between the takeover when Clash kind of bought it?
It was like 200 followers. I think it wasn't massive, but it was decent.
Okay, so for all the listeners, the how it went down is, well, Clash, another video platform, bought out Clash, and when they took over Byte, they kind of revamped Byte to look like Clash, and then there was some kind of something that goes behind the scenes that a lot of the community were just not happy about. Like, what the vision they had and the expectations just didn't match up to what was shown to us visibly. And then over time they've said they were going to rebrand to Huddles. Yes, I know, I don't know either. And they were going to join a bigger creator family. However, ever since they mentioned that, we haven't heard back from them since. And we're starting to think that not much was going to be done after that. So, me, Eric, and Jacob Shadowminer, we're looking at trying to revive Byte, but with a couple of twists that makes it stand out from other platforms, and of course, trying to make sure that the new Byte doesn't make the same mistakes as the old Byte did when it was under Dom Hoffman and before it was bought by Clash.
Do you have investment?
Yeah, I'm actually about that. We were thinking of investment, but we thought, nah, because if investment took over, then they would get to say, we want to do this, we want to do that, and we didn't do what they say, they would just pull it out. So what Jacob had thought of doing instead is having the project independently funded, like from his own pocket, I believe. I remember Jacob was working a 9-to-5 job a while back, but now he found this job at a store. He was promoted to assistant manager, and at this point, and from that point when he got promoted, he was given the task to train people to work, to pose in as the manager of the 3 stores that Jacob was going back and forth between and working in. Once the training was done, I believe, like, at least more than half was done of the training, he's got a lot of the free time to work on the Sargomatic projects that he's working on. He runs Sargomatic Studios, and of course the revival of Byte, like what we're doing right now.
The question is that even possible for like Byte to be revived without like you need a lot of money to revive like even something like that.
Yeah, yes, I know that's a very good question, and what we think about is that when we're trying to revive or trying to restart something, we try to look at ways that revenues can be generated on our own. So, and I know this isn't popular with a lot of people. However, to start off with, we are looking at trying to experiment with ads. However, there's a twist to that. The kinds of ads that's being promoted, that's the difference. We're not talking about the mobile ads you see on mobile games or Clash of Clans or Brawl Stars, whatever that name is. We're looking at utilizing the advertising aspect towards the content creators and of course the brands. But for the brands, it's a different case because I know that brands are not that popular unless the products or service is good as they are promoting them. So we're looking at ways. We're trying innovative and creative ways to generate revenue to at least maintain the maintenance of costs of the service that Byte is going to be running off. And then from that moment, once some amount of money is generated and goes towards maintaining the service that's holding Byte, from that point, whatever's left, we could pay a small team of employees that's part of the small core team for the Byte team. And then once the salary is distributed to all the other employees, me, Eric, and Jacob will take our share of the payments from whatever's left. Because even though we can take a majority of the money, we decided we'll sacrifice a portion of the pay that came from the revenue of Byte and redistribute it towards maintaining and improving the quality of Byte's service and the platform of Byte itself. Because I think Jacob has said that he was inspired by the former CEO of Nintendo when he sacrificed part of his pay which part of his pay was redistributed to improving the quality of the next upcoming game consoles for Nintendo was releasing, and it did.
Yeah, the Wii U.
That paid off. That cut had paid off, and but during this time when he was CEO, the products that we knew, like the 3DS, that was pretty good. I think. I'm not sure. I'm not too sure, but I know that he was inspired, like that. Even though we can take majority, what's the need for all that money when it could be redistributed to improving the quality of the service that we're providing? That's just at least how I've seen from this moment in time right now.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a start. And it's not a lot, but it's a start. And I know there will be other people who have their doubts. However, we want to be transparent and we want to be realistic about what we're going forward. So it's not going to be an overnight success the moment it launches.
I mean, shoot, it took us 2 years to get to this point. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, so it's like, we're just pretty much we're not making any promises, but we're not making any like promises that we cannot keep. We're pretty much only like telling people exactly what we can do, and if we can, and because we know that we can keep those, but like we're not making any broken promises that we know that we cannot live up to or keep. And for the most part, like we found like we found like a way to like revive the app, and in a way where like we can pay it out of our own pocket, like where Jacob can pay it out of his own pockets, and so like we can, because for the time being, like we would be taking like a pay cut, I believe, but like for the most part it doesn't really matter, because well, I mean, we just want to like give people something to like look forward to.
Okay.
Yeah. Is there anything else?
Actually, Asperegoose, do you have any other questions in regards to the revival or any concerns that would be useful to know?
Well, I don't know. Like, what's your vision like for how the app will look like? What is it going to be? Yeah.
In terms of user interface or the implications of how content is promoted?
How the algorithm is going to work in general?
Well, actually, at first we were thinking. Well, for me personally, I was thinking like an algorithm that distributes a balance between promoting content that you enjoy watching and new content that you haven't heard of yet, but you would most likely enjoy. But then Jacob, out of nowhere, he said, what's the need for an algorithm? Why don't you just make it randomized? And then, you know what? That could be interesting. But then I did bring up a point about if we're going to have a randomized algorithm, wouldn't people be turned off if they see a video that in a niche or topic or category they just don't like? So I suggested an idea to Jacob that if we're going to have some kind of randomized algorithm, well, there isn't much an algorithm to begin with, it's just randomized, it's just content post shown at random, there should be some kind of filter to choose which topic of videos you want to watch. So if you like frogs, you can press the frogs tab and you can see at random videos that discuss about frogs. Or maybe cars. You press the cars tab and you can watch at random videos that are about cars. Or maybe we can look at sports. Maybe football, for example. You press the football tabs and you can watch at random videos about football stars, just the game, or whatever competitions are coming up. So, although there will be randomized videos being shown to you, the users have the ability to choose what kinds of videos they want to watch in whichever topic, niche, or category that they most prefer to enjoy watching.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the most part, like it's a very exciting project, and I'm just looking forward, and me and Jame and Jacob are looking forward to like doing this and delivering what we can, for the most part, and because this is something. This is definitely like something to be excited for, and just giving the people what they want and giving the people like something to look forward to, because for people who don't want to use IG or TikTok, not saying we're going to be better than them, but for people who don't want to use those things, like I think we could be that place for them, and that's really what's important.
Okay.
Yeah. Any more questions?
I don't have any.
Okay.
That's cool.
Yeah. So John, like what else is there?
Well, other than thing bite related, nothing I can think of. Although I will look in our chats for anything that we could bounce off the discussion of.
Okay, cool. Hold on. Let me check myself. Okay.
Will robots take over Tesla factories?
Will they?
I don't know. That's what they're saying.
I don't think. Well, actually, no. I can't see that happening. I could see that happening. Pardon my English. But anyways, yeah, I could see that happening. I don't really know if it's necessarily going to happen for real though. Probably going to happen within the next 10 years, 5 years. I'm not sure. But for the most part, I'm just saying we'll just see what happens. Also,
yeah,
where's Jacob?
Yeah, I'm wondering, where is Jacob?
Actually, yeah, hold on. Let me ping.
Last time I checked, he was so excited to join. I was like, he should have joined by now.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, it's been a while. Yeah, and honestly, it's been 28 minutes now. I'm gonna ping him, see if he'll join, because for the most part, he knows about pretty much he knows about more than when it comes to the situation that we're in right now, and Jacob knows more. I mean, and John May, did you get done with the website?
Well, last time I remember, besides putting the home, the explorer, the notification, and the profile buttons at the bottom of the website, I don't think there's not much changes I've ever made.
Got you. All right. Did anybody else reach out to want to add help us add to the website, or was it just that one person you sent me?
Wait, what do you mean?
To add videos.
Oh no, no one else has reached out to me about other videos to add into the website.
Got you. Okay. Got you. All right. So yeah, I pretty much put out the announcement, and we're just gonna see what happens, and yeah, for the most part, I'm gonna also just I'm also probably gonna put something in the general chat so anybody else can see, and yeah, just for the most part, I just want everybody to get the opportunity, and if they can't do it, then that's fine. But it is what it is at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, wait, the Loops chat is still a
yeah, the Loops chat, the Loops server, it's still there, even though a while back it's just shut down after a month of running.
It was really a month. I'm not gonna lie. It was a pretty good app though, for the most part. It was
pretty good. Yeah.
I thought it would last longer because it had a lot of potential, but for the most part, it didn't. And that's fine.
Yeah.
Hopefully they do come back with something else, because it's it was pretty good.
Yeah, it sure was. Have you heard about Loop, Asperegoose?
Loop.
Yeah, have you heard about Loop, the new ish app?
But no, I bet. I literally just searched up on Google, and the first result is Microsoft Loop. Okay, but okay, now I'm searching. Okay, discover, pay, grow. What the fuck is this? Oh no, that's a bank app. It's some sort of Nigerian. I literally, even Google doesn't recognize this shit. What the fuck is Loom?
It was in beta. The month it was ran, it was in beta. It has not publicly launched yet.
Loop, it's called Loop.
Yes, Loop. Dot LOL.
Loop.lol.
Yeah.
Okay. What the fuck? What is this shit? Okay. Social media, but only real content. Why does it give me that? What's the name of that app that had 95% of its users actually bought? What is it, that name?
I have no idea.
I think it's called like IRL app. Bots. What is it? Yeah, the IRL app. Yes, it was shut down after it was admitted that 95% of its users were bots, and it was at one point valued at 1 billion.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't even know. Like, I think apart from Kick, there's nothing really that can match like the might of Twitch and YouTube. Or I mean, Rumble. Technically, Rumble can do that because like Rumble, Kick, like these were like the only like two big social media platforms that are still kind of relevant. That just like recently started popping off. That are not like big corpo.
Oh yeah, Asperegoose, what do you think of Rumble?
Personally, it's not my cup of. I'm fine with like a free speech platform. I'm fine with like, but I don't know. I'm perfectly satisfied with YouTube the way it is. I'm fine with Rumble, but like it's like politically brained there. It's a very politically brained platform, so it's not really my huge thing. They do have Sneeko there, so that's interesting.
Yeah, I heard his. I'll be honest, like I don't really watch his streams like that, but I do kind of still keep up with him a little bit, like and I heard like his deal is like is set to like come up, and I watched some of his streams, but because I think he's Muslim now, and like most of his streams are like Muslim centered, and like just it just does.
Correction, he's pretending to be a Muslim. I don't think he's a Muslim actually.
Yeah, I mean, like, he does do certain things that are contradicting. Like, you can kind of, I'm like, I can kind of see, like, why people would call him a grifting Muslim or think that he's pretending to be a Muslim.
Yeah. Yeah,
but,
yeah.
But when he does make content like that, I'm like, it really has no purpose for me because I'm a Christian. So it's like, I don't care that he's a Muslim, but it's like, it doesn't really serve any purpose for me. Because,
Well, I mean, like, I'm not, like, all too, like, into religion. I'm perfectly fine with, I don't know, like, I'm very, like, secular, personally. Like, I don't really care if a person, like, promotes Christianity or, like, Islam. It's just, like, but when they make their entire personality that kind of, I don't know.
Okay, so it's like, it's when they make it their, like, their whole thing, like, their whole personality is kind of...
Yeah, it's when they base their entire beliefs on this just one thing, like... And the problem with Sneeko, in my opinion, is that he doesn't have any beliefs of his own. As Mokunara says, he's a pre-programmed NPC. He doesn't have like any of his original ideas. First, like he tried to fucking dick ride Andrew Tate. Then he tried to fucking dick ride all a bunch. Like then he was like fucking left alone without his daddy. Now he's trying to dick ride a bunch of these like Muslim influencers because they fucking bullied him into not making any jokes about them.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Man.
Now his entire political commentary is just Jews. The Jews are destroying America. The Jews are coming after you. It's literally all just that. Like, I'm pretty sure one of his recent tweets was just him complaining about October 7th.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. At first, like I was kind of like, yeah. Then like after that, I'm like, okay, who cares? It's like
yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah, like it is what it is. It's like I can't do it. Even if I believe that to be true, it's like I can't do it about it.
Oh yeah. Okay, I literally just saw this tweet 9 hours ago. He posted, Israel did 9/11, by the way.
Oh yeah, today is as of this recording, September 9th.
Yeah.
Oh no, September 11th. Or in other words, 9/11.
Yeah, September 11th, and I'm like, yeah, I saw that tweet too, and I'm like,
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the problem with Sneeko is that he has potential to be a good creator, but he just chooses to engage in, like, politically brain rot rage bait. Because this is just rage bait, obviously. Or like, he thinks he's so, oh my god, I'm fighting against the power, I'm so edgy. Like, bitch, you fucking not. You're simply just a contrarian. Listen, I don't support, like, fucking, Moist Critical's opinion about, kids being able to receive fucking HRT, but bro, that motherfucker, fucking Sneeko, was talking about 16-year-olds marrying 21-year-olds. Nah, get that shit out of here.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I think at that point, it's like, once you're in the Islam, once you're like, in that, like, manosphere, it's like, you kind of have to agree with like, that type of stuff. And it's like, all right. It's like, I don't really like comment on that. I try not to because it's like all right. It's like I don't really know what it was like back then. It's like, but I do know that I wouldn't do it. It's like I do know that I wouldn't do it, and it's like for the most part, it's like yeah. I think he just has to agree with it at this point. He just like even if he doesn't intrinsically agree with it, he has to because it's like the people who he hangs around with agree with it, so it's like and they pretty much push them to agree with that. And I'm pretty sure there was like a video of like this guy with him and Muhammad Ajab talking about how like it was okay for like a grown man to date a 13-year-old, a 14-year-old with
Yeah. Well, it's so funny. As this guy's fucking Muhammad Hijab is talking, Seiko is just looking like into the camera, just like like he looks like he's mewing. He legit looks like he's mewing.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that wasn't the best. I wouldn't have done that, but it's like like as far as like Sneeko goes, it's like man, like look, man, you can push back, man. It's like come on, bro, just it's like I'll be honest, I would have been weirded out if I was like on another call with a grown man talking like and he was talking about that. I'm like, bro, what? Even if I didn't say anything, I would have been like,
yeah.
I'm not sure if that's you're on your own. You're on your own there, buddy.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. But it's like he has the kind like I think he's starting to like kind of like I think he's kind of like brainwashing himself to like agree with this type of stuff, but for the most part, I don't know if he actually agrees with it,
yeah.
or if he's just brainwashing himself to agree with it.
I don't know. Didn't he also say that he was kind of going against Trump because Trump supports Israel?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. A couple of people said that actually on Twitter.
Yeah, it's fucking Twitter, bro. Twitter is such a sense. But like, yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty like I support Israel's right to exist. I believe that Israel has a legit right as a state. I don't support them bombing Palestinian children, of course, but I also don't want fucking Hamas invading like and raping Israeli women. That's fucked up.
Yeah, it's like I'm not really like picking like a side to be on specifically. I'm just gonna say this, bro. I want them to just stop like fighting one another. I don't really. I personally don't support violent. I'm sorry you have to hear that from outside. I personally don't support like any violence from like either side. It's like that's just me though. It's like because if you take one side, it's like you're supporting a killing on the other side, or like raping on the other side. So it's like pretty much for me, it's like
I mean. I don't know if like the Ukrainian case is a bit like I don't know those guys were invaded obviously by a tyrannical regime. It's in their right to fight back and like because there is confirmation that genocide's happening, like all these fucking Palestinian like fucking them queers for Palestine motherfuckers that are out here trying to downplay the shit that's happening. I don't agree with that. I very much like and so, like I believe that Israel has a right to defend itself and also Ukraine has a right to defend itself. Like, motherfuckers like Sneeko, they all want to believe they're fighting the deep state. Bro, Russia is the deep state. It's been doing fucked up shit. You saw that fucking Tenet media thing that happened?
Wow.
Hello, Shadowminer.
Oh, yeah, what's up? What's up, my guy?
At the right time.
Yeah.
That is not expected.
We're just engaging here in La Sema better than Hassan political commentary.
Yeah, pretty much. Much. We were talking about like a couple of people. We were talking about like a YouTuber or a Rumbler or former YouTuber named Sneeko, and like we were also talking about like the wars in we were talking about like the wars in like Palestine and like Israel and how like pretty much we don't support one side, but like we just want both to stop.
Yeah, right. I mean,
I agree.
But Jacob, I was telling them earlier that like you also you knew more like you knew more about like the launches like me and Jame. So like can you give some quick context?
Oh, are we talking about rocket launches or are we talking about bite launches? What are we talking
We're talking about bites.
Okay. Well, before we get to that, I'll put my 2 cents on the whole war thing here in a second. But
yeah,
I'll introduce who I am. So everybody knows who I am. So I go online by Jacob Shadowminer. I make, as these guys know, made videos, because I haven't made anything in a while, but I've always dreamed of being a content creator, um, leaving a legacy in this world. And I guess you can say my goal in life is to create something so big that it can live on for generations, inspire people and all that kind of stuff. But anyways, back to that war before we got on the bite. Because Bite's one of my many projects, and these guys know. So I think, just like you guys said, I think both sides should kind of just cut it out because, I mean, what do we benefit from our future, the world that we live in, having all these wars? Because, I mean, when you have wars, somebody's paying for them. Somebody, our tax money, someone somewhere is paying for it. And I just think I think we should focus on our future, future technologies, improving the world, making sure, the world that we live in is a better place. And wars just ain't it. They're just not it.
I mean, yeah, man, I agree, 100%.
Absolutely, yeah.
We should definitely focus on the better of this world and focus on the technology that is to come next. And for the most part, hey, I agree, because we really don't benefit anything from these wars, etc.
No,
We don't.
and because what it creates is it creates these whole bunch of echo chambers, that we're seeing right now. It gives all these media outlets a quick click, give them something to make money off of. Gives all these, well, I want to say social media platforms, your typical social media platforms, also a place to share all these like tragedies, like it's candy, and what it results in people doom scrolling till to a point where it's not good on their mental health. Um, in a perfect world, social media should be something that should be attachment to our lives. It should be something that we enjoy, like its intended purpose, share our lives with the world, not the other way around. The world sharing its life with us. So,
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I think ever since my walk, I really only only post on my stories when it comes to social media, bro. I really don't because I'm not gonna lie. I remember but before, I used to just take a photo almost every single day and just post it on social media. But it's now
yeah.
I'm not that. It's ever since I started praying, reading the Bible, and it's I just really don't. I only care to to spread the gospel and spread my faith and hopefully not forcefully get someone to follow my faith, but if someone is interested in looking into it, I wouldn't mind doing that, because I don't believe in brute force in spreading.
Yeah. That's really the way to go. Because if you force your release on someone, if you force something on someone, that goes back to that social media thing. Nowadays, you have trends, and trends are everywhere. It could be religious. It could be the next fashion phase, or it could be the next But everybody's forced into that trend because in this world, like an article I was reading on Reddit, to keep up, everybody's in a rat race. You're always trying to figure out what the next best style is. You're always trying to keep up with whatever the trend is, and it's always ever changing. And now because of TikTok and shorter content, more short form content, it's caused this fast forwarding behavior to a point where you're stuck. You're stuck scrolling, and then eventually you get. I've heard in this article that it's creating something called fast forward boredom, which means you've just gotten so bored at scrolling at that TikTok or Reels or YouTube Shorts. Now your brain is craving longer form content. Which don't get me wrong. I'm the biggest TikTok addict myself, and Shorts and all the other ones. But I mean, there should be like a space that you should be able to like take a break from. I mean, of course, you got YouTube, you got Netflix, you got all these streaming platforms, but there should be a place without all these distractions, without all this social media junk that you can just watch something and then take a break from everything. And actually, that gets us into that whole bike thing. I'll actually let John May speak first because John May can tell you what Bite originally was and and then I'll kind of like go over what our new vision for it is.
I think John may you pretty much already said it earlier. So we were just trying to get your intake.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if you guys already went through it, well, if you guys go back and listen, that's what old by or class or whatever it used to be then. It's been through so many names. Used to be. That right there in a nutshell is your perfect example of what your typical social media is. You're either there for money, you're there for clout, or you're there for, well, because you got tied into an algorithm and you're like stuck constantly watching what the newest trend is, or you're trying to, again, it goes back to that creator thing. You're constantly to get clout, to get money, you're trying to keep up with whether that quick trend is, and trends are quick. They could be it could be a day, they could be an hour, they could be a few months. You just never know. Well, trends are just all over the place. It's so hard to keep up. I mean, no wonder content creators burn out because they're always having to be on this grind. Like the second I know one of my friends on LinkedIn reached out. He's not like a massive content creator, but he's always telling me he's got to wake up. So, like the second he wakes up at 6 o'clock in the morning, and he doesn't even have a job. Like this is his main job. Like he does streaming full time. I actually worked with him at Dunham's. Shout out to him. His name's Rocket Man. But he mainly does streaming, does videos, and he tells me the second he wakes up, he's got to do three things. He's got to go to X, or well, formerly Twitter, and he's got to go there to the trending platform and find out what's trending. Second thing he's got to do, like because he's a gamer, he's got to go to Twitch, Kick, and YouTube to see what trending video games are going on. I mean, of course, he does have like a good balance of like games he wants to play, but I mean, also he's kind of got to play these like new games that's coming out, or else he won't be discovered. Now to be fair, I mean, Twitch has kind of worked on their discoverability because now, I mean, I agree with it, but I don't. They have this TikTok like scrolling feature where now you can actually discover smaller creators, but your chance of being discovered on that's 50-50. But he says he's got to wake up to do that. And then the third thing is his content making, his stream scheduling, YouTube videos, all the works. Now, in a perfect world, it shouldn't be like that. In a perfect world, like, funny enough, and as cheesy as it is, because the old Bite team used to say this, but it's true. It is true. The creativity part, the content making, the streaming, the TikToks, the YouTube, the whatever, should be first. It should come priority. It shouldn't be waking up first thing in the morning, find out what's trending. It shouldn't be, I mean, even though you do, to a degree, have to keep up with that stuff to keep yourself relevant to a degree, like a good balance at least, it should not be a priority. A priority should be, okay, what kind of video do I want to make? How can I put my creative vision out in the world? What, like I said, whether it be TikTok, whether it be Twitch, whether it be Kick, or whatever it is, or even a microblogging forum. It should be first because the second that trends and let's see the other thing. The second that trends and clout and profit are first, you're already doing it wrong. Because the thing you're going to put out, I mean, yeah, it might be appealing to the viewer, but it's not going to be yours for one, and it's not going to be creative. Like it's going to get to a point where it's going to feel like a job, and you have to do it, and then you run into burnout, and then you're done. So, creativity should always come first because it's what you're doing. You're doing what you love, so it should be something you enjoy. Now the other two things should come after, like what's trending, then how can we make money? Making this stuff. That's how it should be in a perfect world. But well, like I said, because all the social media platforms that we live in or live with, like TikTok, because of TikTok, and I always say TikTok. I mean, TikTok is not a bad platform. Don't get me wrong. It's just if you use too much of it, you do too much of it, you get addicted to it. Then it becomes a problem.
Yeah.
Same as like yes, same as oh yeah.
I would say TikTok is a great place for like commentators, man. Like you can get free content on there. Like to react.
I don't know, but the problem is that TikTok fame is not the same as YouTube fame.
Yeah, I mean it doesn't translate well. It's not. Yeah, like with TikTok, it's like okay, you can be a trend, you can get a couple of followers, but how will you follow that up and translate it towards your Instagram, your Twitter, or any other platforms that you have? How are you going to follow that up? Are you going to be a one-hit wonder, or are you going to follow that up by like I don't know, maybe like pursuing modeling, acting, or anything really that you really want to do? Because it's like it's one thing to be like trendy for about a month or a week, but how are you going to follow that up? What are you going to do? Like even I would say even make it up, even like capitalizing off of that by making your own podcast would be like a smart move. But for the most part,
I don't know. But the problem is that TikTok, like with all those things, it's relying on a short attention span. And I think like you just gonna be a one-hit wonder. Does anybody remember Charlie D'Amelio anymore? Anyone?
Not really.
I don't think so.
I still do, but it's like not
exactly.
It's not that deep.
100 million followers and no one gives a shit. Meanwhile, Turkey Tom, damn, that's recognizable. PewDiePie, that's recognizable. For example, like more recognizable figures, like in the commentary space, like fucking everybody knows that shit. Nobody's gonna remember Charlie D'Amelio in a few years. Who the fuck is she? What the fuck does she do? What did she bring to the social media landscape?
What is Charlie doing now? Does she have her own like makeup business or something?
She's makeup business.
I can tell you right now, it's not good. Man, I'm not sure if you allow some NSFW content on here, but it ain't.
What?
It's that level of deep. She got caught on, or at least the last thing I heard on X, she got she did a video with a transparent shirt on.
Oh yeah, I've heard about that one.
She did?
Uh-huh.
Well, yeah, she did a dance and her clothing was transparent, so you could see, well, everything really.
Yeah.
I'm not.
And yeah,
I'm not gonna seek that out. It's like,
yeah.
It's literally just like, who gives a shit? Once again, it's literally just non-news. Like, for example, like I know Turkey Tom, for example, he covers like proper interesting stuff. He covers ongoing cases, of internet degeneracy. Like it's actually like interesting stuff. Or for example, Think Before You Sleep. He covers like kind of a left-wing issues from a right-wing perspective.
Yeah, I would say like even like as far as like commentators too, like commentator like that I watch semi consistently is like a guy named Jamari. Even he's interesting.
Oh yeah, Jamari's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like him, bro, because it's like he's pretty mutual. He's pretty mutual. So it's like it's like I mean like even like when it's when he has obviously like a little bias, it's not really of any difference. It's like he's cool.
Yeah. I mean, back to that whole whole Charlie D'Amelio thing. She's having to do that because what he said. basically she's having to do that rat race. Okay, well, she's become, I guess, she's not really irrelevant. I mean, her name is still kind of well known, but like she's having to do shady stuff like that because to keep up with that ever evolving platform that is TikTok, which is
Editing
sad.
to maintain attention.
Well, hold up. I'm sorry. Like, can you remind me, like, what shady thing she should do again?
She was doing a dance and she had a see-through top.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
You could see everything.
And I will say this, man. It's like you see so much of that. It's like it just I don't. It's like you don't care for it anymore. It's like because it's like I don't know. It's like the girls are beautiful, but it's like why are you doing that?
It's because of that rat race thing. It's that, and to be fair, it's also the economy we live in too. Hold on, 1 second.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it's kind of sad. Like some people have to resort to doing that because, well, I mean, hey, maybe if you obviously made, I would say made better decisions, and well, capitalized off your fame. It's like you wouldn't have to do that, and it's like. I know there are some people who don't want to do that deep down, but they just do it. But it's the money that motivates them to do it, and it's kind of sad.
Yeah. And actually, when talking about the number of followers people have and thinking, oh my god, 100 million followers, you must be a big celebrity. No one gives a damn about how many followers someone has on social media. And I think this is an issue I want to address if in the event the revival bite does come back. Forget the follower count. Instead, I think ways that content creators should be measured, or at least know how big of a creator that creator is based on a measurement that I create called the engagement rate, which is how much engagement in terms of likes, comments, and saves that a creator gets in whatever time frame, like each day, each month, each year, maybe even every hour. If a creator's that big to get like 2 likes every hour, no matter what.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I have said this in the past, and it is a very, very good system for Byte to implement, so that we find ways to stand out in the best way possible from other social media platforms. Every platform are using the follower count to say if a creator's big and makes good content, or just a small creator doesn't make content that's all that good. How many followers people have is a thing of the past. It has to be scrapped. It's over. What people should know in terms of what a good content creator is, how much impressions, how much engagement that a creator gets in a certain time frame, and maybe they can customize the range and how much they got engaged over that time frame. Because I think you can have 100 million followers, but if you get like 100,000, I mean it's not bad, but shouldn't you get like 1 million or 10 million at best on average? Like that's something to consider. You can have so many followers, but if your engagement in each video doesn't weigh up to the number of followers you have, are all of your followers even watching you? That's the question. That's a big question.
That's true. I mean, it doesn't matter how many followers you have. Like, the point is your post being engaged with?
Okay.
Yeah, of course. So, Jacob, whilst you're away, we were talking about people's number of followers determining how good of a content creator you are, and I thought, you know what, that's a thing of the past. We should, if Byte is going to stand out, and the revived Byte is going to be just as good as, or if not better than the original Byte, I think there should be a new way of calculating how big a creator is based on how much engagement that creator has gotten every hour, every day, each month, each week, each year, and so on.
Well, yes, actually. So, I mean, okay, first it's going to sound bad because everybody's used to social media in general, but I'll get into the meat and potatoes of this thing, I guess you can say. So, Byte is going to be different because there's not going to be like counts or view counts. I mean, to be fair, I get it. It's like you're used to those things. Well, so I guess you ask, well, how do I know how a career is going to be successful? So we came up with an idea called Byte Spheres, which actually, and John May and Eric know about this, kind of originates from the old Byte days where you had the Byte community forums, where it was like its own social media in a sense. Um, Everybody could comment on something. That's where all of our trends started, I guess you can say. But how we're going to do Byte Spheres is it's going to be very different. Um, I got inspired by Miiverse, which is everybody knows what Miiverse is because you had it on your 3DS, you had it on your Wii U. And I thought it was actually a very good social media kind of concept because it takes Reddit to a degree, and then it takes I guess you can say Twitter, X in a way, and it kind of combines them into like a simplified platform. So every game had its own community, whereas you could like comment on it, and it wasn't as complicated as Reddit. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm one of the biggest redditors on here, but Reddit's confusing because if you just want to make a simple topic about something, you've got to go through the whole or just a simple community, right? You've got to go through the whole process of like you have to make a subreddit, and then where you actually make your topic, you got to make a post, right? So I came up with these guys an idea of every sphere is like a community, and that community can be as complicated or as simple as you want it to be. So that right there, that's your social media part. It makes up for the lack thereof of like your generic typical social media. So how we're going to determine what's trending, because I mean we're still going to have a trending section, of course. We're going to have our handpicked, so like videos we think are good, and then you're going to have your which is going to be our featured, and then you're going to have, of course, like I said, trending. Like I guess you can say like what's hot, or I guess we still got to come up with a name for that one, but and then each individual channel, as you can see, each channel, each sphere, it's a very common theme we're going with because it leads up to something bigger here in a second. Each channel is going to have its own trending section, but what's going to determine that is it's not going to be like counts. It's not going to be view counts. It's not going to be subscribers. It's going to be what people are talking about on spheres. So, say for instance, there's a whole bunch of spheres that pop up about a dancing pumpkin because we got fall coming around. So we as a team are going to take note of that, and we're going to, of course, trend those videos that are being talked about, not artificially elevated. It's not going to be something that's superficial to the point where it's like, wait, hold on, I've seen this dude on the trending page like 3 in a row now. I see him like every day. I've seen him like 3 weeks now. When am I going to see somebody else? That's the problem. That right there is the big problem with social media. You see the same people coming to the trending pages, the hot topic pages, whatever, because it's superficial. I'm not saying they're paying people to promote themselves, but unlike some people we know, but they are paying for it to a degree, because I know on certain, like I know on X you can pay to promote your posts. Big brands, oh my gosh, don't even get me started on that. They can pay their way all the way up to the top of the trending page, and they could sit there for months. It's ridiculous. It really is. So what we've come up with is different. Is with Byte Spheres, it's based on community input. not an algorithm. And that's another current theme that's going to be going on and on and on. There is no algorithm with this platform. That's the beauty of it. It's ever evolving random content. But it does lead us to questions like again, how do we know what video is doing well? And that video is, of course, what's being shared on Byte Spheres. Now, the other question is, okay, how are we uploading? How are we going to be uploading these videos? How, just the basic, like how do I upload the video? And well, how do I find like my favorite video? Those are going to be those. I'm going to right up tell you, and this is also because of some limitations we have on our side. This is the reality of it, but I'm also going to give you some solutions we've come up with. So no, there won't be a typical search feature because that also entails an algorithm. But and we're going to put it in the we're going to have like a whole bunch of tutorials to simplify this platform, because that's another thing. Every platform is overcomplicated. You jump on X, you have to learn its ecosystem and all that stuff. You jump on Instagram, you got to learn its ecosystem and all the different things and like traditions. And you jump on Reddit. Oh my gosh, don't even get me started on Reddit. It's got so many freaking traditions and ecosystem things that you got to learn. And most people are multi-social platform beings. We all want to be a part of every single social media platform, and having to learn every single one is hard. So we're trying to, I guess you can say, simplify, like make a social media platform that is not a social media platform. So that way, we're not telling you, oh, we're going to be the next big thing, because we're not trying to like say, oh, this is the future of social media platform. We're not telling you to step away from those social media platforms, because each one is great in its own ways. But what we're telling you is, or what we're offering is, we're giving you a break. We're giving you a break from all this busy world. And, but again, that problem we still go back to. How do I find my favorite video? We're going to be like, okay, if you want to save this video for later, we're going to try to work out a feature where you can directly download the video, so that way you can share it to the spheres also, so that way it's like, hey, here's my favorite video. Also, we're trying to work it out with spheres to where each one can be your new playlist. So that's the beauty of spheres, is a sphere can be anything. Like I said earlier, it can be as complicated or as simple as you want it to be. If you want a sphere to be your playlist, then it could just simply be your playlist. If you want it to be kind of like act like a subreddit, then you can make it act like subreddit. So that right there is your solution to saving videos. Like, okay, I want to watch this later. Now, here's the beauty about not having an algorithm. But there's also a downside. I'll start with the downside. Because there's not an algorithm, and also the way that we're going to, and it also brings up the question, how do I upload? We're going to have a submission, like review kind of thing, to keep things at least balanced for ourselves. We're going to at least try to publish at least 20 to 40 videos a day. So this isn't, but the thing is, this isn't going to be like, oh my gosh, we're only going to pick the people we like to put on our platform. No, what we're going to do is we're going to take our guidelines, which I'll tell you a few, but there will be like a dedicated page for like what you can or cannot post on the platform. But I mean, it's just going to be simple stuff. I mean, no nudity, no not safe for work content, unless we decide to later on down the road come up with a channel directly for that, and then that's where that's something we're still working out. But because that kind of gets in a little bit of a shady term.
Wait, Wait, for nudity?
Well, Twitch had this idea, kind of like, well, not just nudity, but also like gore, stuff like blood and stuff like that.
Or anything explicit, perhaps.
Yeah, pretty much. Like anything.
And that's another thing I have an idea of, is
Oh.
like, at some point, I'm thinking like having an age rating system. So, if there's something in a content where it is not suitable for young children, or there is something that is suitable for people of all ages, we give that content that specific age rating to say, you must be over this age to watch this content, because if you're below it, it's not suitable for you.
Well, actually, back to that simplification thing. What we could do, and this is, I guess, it's also one of those limitation things too. We could, because in the app you can sign up for like an account, and you could make it to where there's only certain parts of the app that can only be seen if you register. We could make like a channel that's like NSFW, and then make it only visible to the like registered users. And of course, the general rule of thumb is you've got to be 13 to sign up for a social media account or be on social media. So that right there takes that out of the way, because the second you sign up, you're agreeing that you're 13. And of course, there's like guidelines we can put in there for signing up for an account, which could be, okay, if you're looking to see NSFW content, you also agree by signing up to this content. There's some things that we could put in the terms of service that would make it, I guess you could say, simplify it more, and of course make it effective. Because simple and effective are the two biggest things you want on a simple platform. Now we go back to that, no algorithm thing. Well, how do we upload? Well, that's it. You're going to submit it. We're going to review it based on just simple rules, not, oh my gosh, here's freaking McDonald's sending us a video, so we're going to, oh, okay, yeah, we're going to upload that first. Oh my gosh, freaking Charlie D'Amelio on here. No. We're going to treat, right? We're going to treat every video fairly. Or like our day should look like,
Wait, speaking of Charlie D'Amelio, did they also pay her to be on Clash?
Yeah, that failed.
Wow. Yeah,
Actually, I think
but-
I remember, like, Charlie D'Amelio did, in one of Charlie D'Amelio's videos, she did mention Byte by name to her sister, like, what do you think of Byte? And then, well, Dixie just like, bited the microphone. That's all I can remember the last time a well-known individual mentioned Byte, or, yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, influencers I used to follow, bro, even they made an account on, like, the Clash, and I'm like, and then I never saw them again.
That is the problem. That right there's the problem. They were artificial. Well, I don't think they had. To me, honestly, we know they didn't have an algorithm. They were probably hand picking content just like all of them. But and I hate that. But we're going to do it differently because of that.
Yeah.
Our day is going to look like, so we're going to have an email, and at some point we're going to have like a shared drive, like a server of some sort, like later on in the future, where we're going to have you submit your video. Now, we're not going to be looking at headlines. We're not going to be looking at the subject. So we're not going to be just, willy-nilly picking videos, whatever we want to see. We're going to go through top to bottom every day and just go through what we see. Now that brings the problem of, okay, well, what if my video doesn't make it on the platform? To that, I'll answer, that's going to be something that we're going to have to work on. That's going to be a system that right now we're kind of limited to what we got. The servers that we're working with and stuff like that. And at some point, I'll tell you it'll get better. But right now,
We'll also talk We'll also talk about the not safe for work stuff too later on.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's all like some stuff that we're going to have to test out probably in some
yeah,
later updates. But
yeah. Like I would say, because once again, I don't mind if it's mature content, but it's like there are just certain things that should be shared, and there are certain things that should not be shared.
yeah, I mean, pretty much. It's simple. And but I can guarantee you, your content. I mean, it might be a wait. Because I know at some point we're going to be getting an influx of videos, like to the point we're not going to be able to handle it. But I can tell you, we can, because we're that's why we're doing at least 20 to 40 videos a day. I can guarantee you your video will make it onto the platform. There's not going to be no favorites. There's not going to be no cherry picking. However, there is something that I can say. I wouldn't call it favoritism, but more like something we're testing. But, well, I wouldn't really call it favoritism. Heck, so yes, but my point, is like we can guarantee your video will make it onto the platform. However, here's where we get into the how profiles work. So very similar to Spotify or Apple Music or whatever. You're not simply going to be able to just up and create a profile. I know it sounds bad at face value, but we want to do it that way because that way your profile is yours. It's unique. It's something I mean, and it also, very similar to Elon, it cuts down on bots. It cuts down on spam. A lot of the decisions we're making, you can kind of tell. So it's that common theme thing that we're trying to keep up with. It's keeping a perfect balance, I guess you can say. And so like submitting an application or even earning a bike creator profile will, of course, keep down on spam, but it gives you that sense of I earned this. This is my profile, and there's nobody who's going to be able to take that away from me. Now, here is the process. Like and this also comes to that community input type thing. We're still trying to work that. Now this is not set in stone, and we haven't really come up with like a specific process yet. But the concept process is if you do well, say like at least, well, on the basic creator profile, if you at least consecutively post 20 videos in a month, I think that's pretty fair. Then you can earn a bike creator profile. Or you could submit an application for it either way, but the application process might take a little bit longer than your typical, like just earning it. So there's two ways you can either apply for it or you can earn it. Now, once you earn it, we're going to reach out to you and, well, essentially we're going to let you know, hey, you've earned a bike creator profile. What do you want on it? And then we're going to have these profile blogs that's going to have all of your socials, whether if you just want it to be one social media link, kind of like Linktree, you want one overall, that's fine. If you want different things. But that's going to be where your content's going to go. And that solves that problem. Okay, so I had this video I liked, but what if I lose it? How do I find it? Of course, in an ever evolving random algorithm where videos are just random and they're ever growing. That's the solution. Bike creator profiles. All of your videos that you make at that point are going to be tied to your profile. And how we're going to do that is through an efficient system. So once you get your bike creator profile, you're going to get a unique code. So that way we know what profile is what. So if any changes have to be made, if you request any changes, that or when you release a video, that code will be on your video submission application, which is an application process we're going to simplify in the app and the website. and the website. Oh, hold on. I'll let these guys pick up while I get a customer.
And also, while we're talking about how content is being promoted, I have been thinking that if eventually in the future, once everything's all developed and checked out, there should be a distinction on what kind of which part of the world you want to see content from. Do you want to see content across the globe, content creators within your country, or content creators within your area or subdivision of your said country? Because the thing is, most social media platforms, they just go off which users like which content most based on certain themes. I'm thinking, and it will change upon suggestions by the community, possibly. There has to be a starting point for content creators the moment they post their content. The first set of people based on not just users' interest, but also where the users are from. It's starting off localized, and then once they get enough engagement from the local circle with around people in your location, close to your location, that it expands to more people outside your current location. Now, I know people would argue people's privacy to location privacy. It doesn't have to be an exact location. It doesn't have to be pinpoint exactly. People can choose where they want to look at content within their subdivision in said country or another country subdivision. They can choose where they want to start with their growth on social media. It doesn't have to be exactly where they are. They can just choose. There should be freedom of choice in terms of where they want to see content. The point I'm trying to make is there has to be a starting point. It can't be just people who like the kinds of videos that you make. There has to start from a specific area at some point around the world, or at least broadly a specific subdivisional location, and then it grows out to nearby areas, and it gradually grows and grows and grows until it goes out of a specific country that you choose, and then to other neighboring countries, and then eventually it goes global. So a starting point in terms of locality of your preference is a great way for content creators to start growing from the content they're making.
Okay, I'm back.
Yeah, so
Anyways,
I was discussing to the gang about how content would be promoted. I know you said something about there should be control by that should allow the community to have a say. What I was thinking is,
of course.
I was thinking a starting point on how content is distributed to other users. Like it should start off in a specific, or at least broadly in a certain part of the world, in a subdivision of a country of the user's choice. It doesn't have to be where they are right now. It could be some place they're originally from, or some place they'd like to be at. And then once the content that the user has been posted, it starts off not just the people that likes the content that you post, but also a country subdivision. Because another way, if content creators are to be distinguished, it shouldn't be just based on the countries they're from. It should also be the subdivisions of that country they're from. So it gives users a choice to pick between watching content globally, nationally, or just somewhere in the local area. And I think that kind of freedom of choice for the users to choose the locality of content where they can watch would be very beneficial and very useful to the creators.
That actually, yeah. I mean, to a degree. I mean, Snapchat does that, but they don't really do that subdivision like you're talking about. And well, we can't really geo block off certain videos, especially like in an ever random algorithm, because it is right now it is a little bit challenging. But what we could do, back to the whole byte spheres thing is, like I said, every sphere can be random. So, say for instance, if like a creator wants to represent like a certain part, like we'll use Japan as an example. In Japan, there's several different subcultures. I guess you can say very similar to America, but they're more diverse. You have, of course, the most popular one. Alexander list those off. You have like Akihabara, and you have anime, and you have Nintendo, that kind of subculture, and then you have your traditionalist subculture, and then you have the revolution, like the edgy, kind of like the Gen Z style, or the new, they do everything different subculture, and every one of those should be celebrated. Now, I can say this, and this is something, if we ever get time, we as a team can also create on the spheres like different kinds of culture celebrations. Like we could do it for like certain festivals, like Lunar New Year is a big one. That one's got ready to be coming up at the end of the year. So
Yeah.
theoretically, I'm not putting a deadline on ourselves, but if we get things together and we get launched by December, which is my plan, we might be having our little test run of that. Nah, that'd be amazing. Um, Now, of course, I mean, when it comes to celebrating, the platform is going to be celebrating. Like, is most platforms, they put up a little banner, all that good stuff. I mean, Discord kind of does, like, for Halloween, they do, like, a re-theme, and they have, like, a little fancy, like, phone call ringer. But we're going to go all out. Like, every major holiday, every themed thing, we're going to be re-theming the app. I mean, yes, you'll have your base app design. Like we're gonna like. Well, I'll get technical here for a little bit. When it comes to color theory, you should at least have 4 colors. um, so we'll have our typical purple, green, pink, and black. But like throughout the season, like when fall comes, we can throw some orange in there and get all festive. Or when Halloween comes around, we can do some, you know, to encourage creators to not be a part of a trend, but theme their content how they like it. Pretty simple. And it also gets back to that whole, profile thing. How do I theme my profile? All that, and even when you submit, will be, you'll be given a code. And then that code, we can tie it up to that account, yada yada, bingo, bongo, whatever. Now, here's the interesting thing. You're still going to be going through the process of, okay, we're looking through our emails every day. Um, okay, simple. But I can say, um, there will be that a little bit of that favoritism that I told you about, but not in the sense that you think. So there will be verified creator profiles, but those aren't going to be based off of notability. I mean, there will be, like, if somebody applied for it and they are a notable creator, I mean, of course, you don't want their personalities being stolen on the platform. But then again, that also comes into, okay, our process of reviewing who's getting a creator profile. So that check mark isn't really, again, like how it's different than most social media platforms. It's more or less, they still earned it, essentially. Like, there's not going to be the problem of fake accounts because, well, you have to go through a submission process of some sorts. But the check mark will be like I guess you can say, an accomplishment. Because now again, that comes into that technical thing. Like, we still need to come up with a system. But I think a fair and reasonable system, and we can always work it out later through spears or whatever, would be, I say, if your video has trended at least 10 times within a month, then you should deserve a verified badge. Now, we'll say, when the app comes out, and this is more of a respect thing. The original, and I can, if you're an original bike creator, even, I will reach out this offer. If you had a bite account at some point, or heck, I'll even make this offer. If you were even a part of the Clash team, or if you were just part of both, I will let you have the opportunity to have one of our verified creator profiles. I think it's fair because the community that were behind the old bite were treated so wrong, and that we could be here for hours for how badly that, and these two know how badly we were treated. um, but we're here to make to right the wrong.
Yeah,
So
I'm pretty. I'm pretty
that's
sure.
why. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Discord server when we mentioned it, they went off on me, and I was like, "What did I do?"
What happened?
I'm pretty sure when there was still like a Discord server for the bite or for the Clash, it's like we were talking about like the app, and like for some odd reason they went after me, and I'm like, "What did I do?"
Oh, so some of I mean, I see why they reacted the way they did, but some of those people just did too much. But that's why this right here, and we one day we need to have a podcast, and I've even thought about making a video. If you guys would be a part of that.
Wait, didn't you at
What?
one point?
Huh?
Did you at least at one point recorded a podcast episode, like the voice chat hub or something voice chat?
Oh, voice chat vibes. That
Yes.
I've never been able to keep up with that because I've just been getting settled into my new job. But that would be a good topic. What happened to Bite? And we got a lot of stories to tell you about
Yes,
that.
we got a lot of tea to spill.
It's in a way it's like a saga almost. I mean we might have to make a trilogy out of it because it started in 2000. I want to say 2018, and then it spanned for like till about 2000. What was it? 2022, I think. That's when things kind of died down like officially around like 2021.
One of those.
Yeah, so about a span of about, let's see, 6 years, almost 10 years. So we've got a lot. But I want to make a video and a podcast episode about what happened at some point because man, like I said, that's just so much. But that's also the reason why we never gave up because we're like they say, like even that meme to a degree where it's like if that Minecraft meme, where if you stop digging, you'll never reach the diamond. It's like you got that guy up top who's gave up, but the guy down below is getting ready to literally hit a freaking core of diamonds. So I mean, that's literally. It might be a meme, but like that's literally like how life is. If you give up on something too early, then it's like you're giving up on yourself. You're giving up on your potential, and you're giving up what could have been. That's what the previous two teams did. The second team, more different reasons, but they gave up on what could have been. We're here to pick up and not give up on what could be. That's going to be like our everyday mission. That's what we're going to be telling ourselves every day. What could be? Because if you don't ask what could be, then you'll never know what could be. But back to the whole, like bite in general, and I guess you can say to wrap things up. We're trying to create something different. Yes, we're going to be different than the previous team, and how we're going to be different than most social media platforms. we're going to hold, I guess we can try to kind of work out a schedule at some point, but we're going to hold town hall meetings. We're going to have kind of like videos from us to you, like what's going on. Like it's cringe because the last two teams said, "Oh yes, we're going to be transparent. We're going to be different," but we're actually going to be different. Like, and I guess you can kind of see we're already kind of different in a way, and a different in a sense, as in we're not going to sugarcoat things. If we have a limitation, we're going to tell you what that limitation is, and then we're going to tell you how we're going to try to solve it. We're not going to be like, oh well, everything's good, this new feature's get ready to come out this month, and then that month comes and it never happens. And then you're left like, well, hold on. I don't know what the heck is going on. I haven't heard from Jame or Eric or Jacob in like months. And it should not be that way. It should be, if you're running a social media platform, and in our sense, we're running a anti-social media platform, not like antisocial, but like different than your typical social media platform. It's community, and ours is very community based. I mean, all of them are, but ours is very community based. And to not have that communication, you're already losing the plot. I mean, because to run our vision, to run our platform, you have to constantly be engaged for the community, and you have to be active. Because if you're not, then, well, what's the point in even starting it? Because
people are just going to leave.
Yes, because if you're not being festive, if you're not celebrating the platform, with achievements, or if you're not being creative, if you're not showing the effort, then like Jame said, why would I, if I was coming at a perspective, right, and we all were at some point, if I don't see the creators of an app making the effort to make their platform better, why should I put my videos on that platform? Like, what's going to motivate me to make content? Like, I'm just going to be like, whoa, this is boring, and I'm going to want to leave. Because and that's not how you build a community either. You build a community based off of trust and transparency and community. Like community, like in general, like events, celebrations, accomplishments, and not having any communication skills whatsoever literally eradicates every single one of those I just mentioned. So that right there is what we look to do differently, and why we also want to create a different kind of platform. Because, like I said, and I will die on this hill, there should be an escape. I mean, yes, you've got video games, and that's some other projects I'm working on. Because these guys know, on top of my 9 to 5, I got lots of projects like working on behind the scenes. But Byte should be a escape. It shouldn't be a social media in the sense of it like a regular social media platform. And I'll leave off on this. Byte should be an attachment to your everyday life. It shouldn't be something you're addicted to. It shouldn't be something you're attached to. And from the content creator perspective, it shouldn't be something that you're having to constantly push yourself to do, even though you don't like it. It should just be an option to give you, like we'll say the viewer. From the viewer perspective, it should just be, okay, it's like those animes, it's like, okay, I'm watching a story-centric anime. I'm watching like a story-centric cartoon like Gravity Falls. I'm very invested. But sometimes I don't want to watch all that. Sometimes I don't want my brain engaged in some complicated plot line all the time. I want to watch something now for a little bit that I'm just going to sit down, and enjoy. Just mindlessly watch. No complicated plot line, just something I sit and watch. Like your Tom and Jerry's, um, I've just now gotten into anime, so I really wouldn't know the anime equivalent of that. But there's something it should be something mindless that you're taking a break from all that complicated algorithmic social media that we're all used to. It should be like I said, the equivalent of you just sitting down, something that you could scroll and enjoy. That's what it. If I were to wrap it up now, when I am, that's what Byte is. It's an escape. It's a option for you to sit down, take a breather, and get away from all the chaos and complications of the world that's going around you. And that's what we think Byte should have been. Byte, to get in a little bit into it, kind of became a copycat, a cookie cutter platform to the others, to the point where it's like, oh my gosh, I'm just seeing TikTok 3. Because, then you had Triller, and of course you had TikTok. So it's like, what's the point? It's the same rat race, it's the same algorithm, it's just a different approach. So it's like, I'm going to go back on TikTok because, like, like some of the influencers that came on to Clash got their money and left. However, what Byte should have been, and this is a conversation, and we can get one of those podcast episodes or one of those videos I want to make on my channel, is what we want to make. It should be an alternative social media platform. Yes, of course, what it was by design, it's supposed to have been a throwback to Vine. It's supposed to be a successor in a way. I think, of course, it can still be, but it should be an alternative social media option, giving you the best of 3 world, back to that whole nostalgic thing, Nintendo Video, you would have, you would hook up to a hotspot, and it was just simple, and, you'd be, all excited, and I got all excited whenever videos would drop every now and then, and, you would have Miiverse, you'd go in there and you just talk. There wasn't no, like, social hierarchy reason be there, and you had Flipnote Studio where you just made Flipnotes, and that's actually a channel we're thinking about making too, because like we're also continuing the legacy of Vine, but we also want to bring back that nostalgic things that we've missed out on and that were taken away from us. That is what this app is. If I were to summarize it, that right there is what this app is. It's an escape. It's bringing back ideas in one simple app that shouldn't be overly complicated. And at the end of the day, it should just be an everyday part of your life. It should be something you enjoy. It should be something that you're socially tied to. So that is the new Byte. That's the whole point. That's the whole thing. I'm going to be saying this 1,000 times after, like specifically around launch, and especially when we have our dev meeting. But that right there is what Byte is. That's our mission, as what Byte is, and that's what it's going to become. And we're going to do our best to see that vision through. It's going to be tough. It's going to be challenging, but we're going to go at it. We're going to give it our all. We're going to keep, a quote from the Panthers, we're going to keep pounding. So, yeah. But that's Byte. I will hand the mic off.
Yes, I know, Eric. I don't get it either.
Yeah, no. I was wondering if I should say pause to the we're going to keep pounding thing. I was trying to...
So, keep pounding is if you're not a Panther fan, I kind of explain that before I kind of hand the mic off.
Yeah. No, I get it. I'm just I'm trying to make a joke.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I see how it could be seen. So The Panthers, if you're not too much into football, it's a National Football League team that their message was created by this player. His name was Sam Mills. Very inspirational player. He later on became one of the coaches of the Carolina Panthers, and during his tenure, he had cancer. And there was a Super Bowl run they had, and he was in the locker room. And I think it was a few days before he passed. His message to the team was to keep pounding, to keep going, no matter what, no matter what adversity you face in life. That message is a way of life. When he passed, it became the team's motto. Yes, every team has a motto, but the Panthers, it means more. It really is a way of life, because keep pounding, for me, it means, like the challenges we went through Byte. Me as a content creator, everyone faces adversity, but keep pounding means that you keep going at it no matter what. It does. These adversities, these hurdles we face in life do not change who we are as people. We just keep going, keep being our best selves, no matter what. So that is a message, I hold dear to my heart. And it's just a message at the end of the day. Really, keeping your head high, it can summarize that. But that's just, like a message, and that's what.
You know what? That makes sense. And after knowing that, I feel like I will keep going, no matter what.
Yeah, that's all we can.
I, on my final note, have come up with my own little slogan. It kind of means the same thing, because of all the adversity I've faced. And I'll finish off on this, because my slogan, because I was a big gamer, used to be "Play On." Now, it very inspired by Carolina Panthers. And, of course, my channel is very gem-themed. It's very Shadowminer themed. My new slogan is to keep shining. It holds the same message, to never give up, keep trying, and always do your best. So, guys, on my sign out, I'm going to say to keep shining. Well, I'm not sure if I'm actually signing out. I'm not sure if John May has any more to talk about on his podcast, but
well, there's not much to discuss. That is all we have for the episode, or this finale.
It's been a full hour.
Yeah.
I guess you can say this is a great way to end a podcast, or a series, season?
Yeah, this is to end season 20 of all the seasons.
Nice.
Season 20.
Wow. Yeah. That's a lot of podcasts.
Yes.
But yeah, I guess what I gotta say, man, it's like, this has actually been a great episode. We pretty much talked about everything.
And more.
And more.
Alright. Is that us?
Well, say it again, Jacobs, to end the episode.
Sure. I really don't know your outro here. I'll try to summarize. And then kind of finish it off. But so I guess that's the end of this amazing podcast. You guys got to meet me, and you guys, of course, keep up with the podcast. All the amazing people here who have helped me did a great job. Always did a great job. I am looking to do a video later today, kind of on my channel, kind of like summarizing where I've been, and then kind of like, I think after I've kind of like worked out a good work-life balance YouTube schedule finally, so I can finally get back to making content. If you want to check me out, my name is Jacob Shadowminer, or, I shorten it to Shadowminer sometimes, but it's Jacob Shadowminer and everything. I'll be putting a video out, kind of, going like a run through about what, like the simplified version, of course, not the long version yet, of what what I've been working on, what I'm going to be working on, and of course I'll mention Bite a little bit. And later, at some point, we're going to have I'm going to do a podcast. Like John May said earlier, a voice chat by podcast about Bite, and of course, what's going on in general. And then later, we're going to drop the biggest video on the history of Bite. It's going to be, oh my gosh, what do you think? I think it's going to be equivalent of one of those shocker Netflix documentaries that get dropped every now and then.
Yeah, I heard of a documentary about the guy Vince McMahon. I'm gonna watch that one.
Yeah, that was a bad one.
Yeah, he did some things in his day.
And there's that I seen on TikTok. There's a new one just came out about some kind of like priest who's got like this house that's all holy, and he just turned it into like a freaking perverted thing. Oh yeah.
Just why?
I don't know. He used this message, from what I can understand. He used his holiness as if he was like the way to get to God.
Wait,
in
so
a very sexual manner.
Wait, so he was trying to pretend like he was Jesus?
Well, to the way to him, I guess you would say.
Okay, like pretty much like a false Jesus, pretty much is like
false prophet.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much a
he
false.
Yeah,
probably. Why would
he
I
was
talk about that?
Yeah, oh yeah. From what I could tell on the TikTok, he was saying, let's just simplify it. He was basically saying, to get to heaven, you gotta have sex with me in a certain way.
Hold on, what's this guy's name? I actually want to look him up. What's his name?
It's been a few days since it should be, I think it's on Max, or it should be the first thing, because it just came out. It should be the first thing on Max or Netflix.
I actually kind of want to check this out myself.
It's very messed up from what I could tell on the TikTok. I haven't seen it. I might look into it.
The only way to get to heaven is that you got to have sex with. Do people actually believe him?
Oh yeah, there were some like testimonies, and they because he had he had a vault that they broke into and found all of his files, of course, because all these freaking people keep files and records of their crimes.
Hold on, was it with kids or was it with adults?
It was with kids, and some of them were like 15 or 18. Yes. And there was a recording of him going, "Oh, I am holier than thou. Take thy robe off, and touch my pee-pee this way."
That's not something you would hear.
No. It's very messed up,
you
man.
Would hear a guy. What the?
No. It was very, very, very wrong, and it's very weird.
Yeah, but I'd say
that is criminal.
I'd say he's like a wolf in sheep's clothing, bro. He pretends to be this, holy figure, but in reality, it's like he's a very messed up individual, and he really does. He really need to repent.
Right. And I'm not sure if he's still alive because I've not looked into him. But my gosh, I can't believe people were going with it.
Me neither, but at the same time, I'm pretty sure there was another prophet named Joseph Smith who kind of did something similar to that. Not with kids though. Just he had multiple wives.
Yeah,
and
that could be a podcast episode someday. But really, anyways, we're gonna wrap it up.
Yep.
So we're gonna make that Netflix quality documentary. For maybe I'll even drop this maybe even on our own streaming platform, Project Bits. I'll go ahead and drop that little teaser there, because I'm a big teaser guy. But and I'm going to we're all because we're content creators at the end of the day, and that's what we created Sagamatic for too. We're going to be getting back to our normal content because we don't want to just be so this is how you make content.
It's so much more than that.
Yeah, because we want to make a platform that is for creators by creators. And it's going to be funny, but I know this is more of like a niche joke, but not for what was that little joke we had?
What about the Turtle
For
Bros?
influencers by influencers. Oh
Those were the days.
man, I tell you what, that you guys got to watch this documentary we're gonna rework on, because once you see it, you'll get all the inside jokes. But yeah, I guess that wraps it up. We're going to hold also a like a town hall kind of dev meeting at some point. So
Oh yeah, a dev conference kind of.
yeah, so that way, like, if you have any questions, or well, I guess we're going to put out. You guys get to see the inside process here. I guess we're going to put out a social media posts, and then kind of do like a Q&A, kind of like a poll. And then we'll do those answers on the dev thing, and then kind of go like through like a technicality before we do our official launch. Like I said, that's not definite because anything can happen, but by December, and I feel very confident. And yeah, so I guess, just be on the lookout, for what these guys are working on, what I'm working on my channel and Sagamatic. Because one of our biggest 3 projects right now is Byte. I'm working on A Crazy Life and Vibe Space, which are 3 very, very involved projects. These guys know take a lot of work. And then, be on the lookout for our big documentary and our dev videos. So I'll leave it at that. Again, as always, I will see you guys in the next one myself, and I'll let these guys sign off.
All right then.
I haven't done this in a while. I just blanked out. And as always, never forget to keep shining. And I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.
And until next time, stay tuned for more.